Hello everyone. This is our 14th class on income tax for BCom 5th semester students. In today's class, we are going to learn about classification of income for calculating total income. That is, for the purpose of residential status or incidence of tax and residential status, the income is categorized into 4 different categories. Those are Indian income, foreign income, exempted income, and past untaxed foreign income. Based on these 4 categories of income, we determine the taxable liability of ordinary resident, not ordinary resident, and non-resident. So our 4 classification of income are Indian income, second is foreign income, third is exempted income, and fourth is past untaxed foreign income. Let us understand one by one relating to these specific incomes. First one, Indian income. If a source of income or accrual or first receipt of income is from India, then it is called Indian income. That means if the income is earned from India, the source of the income belongs to India, or you are going to receive the income at the first attempt in India, then it is known as Indian income. I repeat once again, Indian incomes are those income wherein the source of income is generated from India. Example, I work in Belgaum and I earn salary. My source is from where am I earning the income? It is Belgaum, Karnataka, India. I am earning income from India. Therefore, the source of income is known as India. Suppose I have a property in Delhi and I sell that property and I receive the income. That is also known as an Indian income because the source of that income is basically in India. Therefore, if a source of income or accrual or first receipt of income is from India, then it is called Indian income. Here given example, first one is rent received from house property situated in Delhi. I receive rent from house property which is situated in Delhi. This is one more example of Indian income. The source belongs to India and the receipt is also done in India itself. Therefore, it is known as Indian income. One more, rent received in India for a house property let out in Sri Lanka. Property belongs to which country? Sri Lanka. The source is Sri Lanka, but the receipt is done in India. Where is the rent received? The rent received is in India. Therefore, either the source has to be in India or the receipt has to be in India, then it is known as Indian income. In first situation, we have seen that rent received from house property situated in Delhi. Here the source is also India and the receipt is also in India. Therefore, it is known as Indian income. But in case of second example, rent is received in India but the house property is situated in Sri Lanka. The source belongs to Sri Lanka but the income is received in India. So either income, source or accrual or receipt is from India, then it is known as Indian income. So both the examples are Indian income. So what is Indian income? If a source of income or accrual or first receipt of income is from India, it is called as Indian income. Indian income are taxable in the hands of. Indian income is taxed in the hands of all the 3 status. That is, first status is ordinarily resident, second is not ordinarily resident, and third is non-resident. If you are earning any Indian income, then it is taxable in the hands of all the three: ordinarily resident in India, not ordinarily resident in India, and also non-resident in India. That means these three have to pay tax on the Indian income. Coming to next, the second one, that is foreign income. Foreign income I have basically classified into two: foreign income 1 and foreign income 2. Let us understand foreign income 1. If the source or accrual of income is outside India and also received outside India, it is known as foreign income. Here, source has to be where? Outside India. That means the source of income belongs to some other country than India, and the income is also received in other foreign country itself. Then it is known as foreign income. Example, Mr. Anthony of US earned business income of rupees 10 lakh in China and received in USA. Here the source belongs to which country? Mr. Anthony of US. Though he is resident of US, but earned business income of 10 lakh in China, means business is situated where? In China. The source is foreign country. Any country other than India is our foreign country. So China is a foreign country. Source of income is China. China is foreign country, and received in USA, even that is a foreign country. So when source is also a foreign country and the receipt is also done in the foreign country, it is known as foreign income. Foreign income number 2. If the income is from foreign business or profession and such business is managed and controlled from India, then ordinarily resident and not ordinarily resident are liable to pay the tax. Let me first be clear with the foreign income part 1. Here, if any person earns foreign income, it is taxable in the hands of only ordinarily resident. I repeat, if there is a foreign income is taxed only for first status, that is ordinarily resident. As we have seen in case of Indian income, when the source is in India, either source is in India or it is received in India, then it is known as Indian income and it is taxable in all the three hands. That is, ordinarily resident has to pay tax on it, not ordinarily resident has to pay tax, and also non-resident has to pay tax on Indian income. But in case of foreign income number 1, that is, if the source belongs to foreign country and the receipt is also belongs to foreign country, and when the control and management of that income is also belongs to some other country, then it is known as foreign income and it is taxed only in the hands of ordinarily resident. Foreign income 2 is about income from foreign business or profession, and that business or profession is managed and controlled from India, then ordinarily resident and not ordinarily resident are liable to pay tax. This is also a foreign income wherein the source belongs to foreign country, maybe the receipt belongs to the foreign country, but the business or profession which is situated in foreign country is managed from India, is controlled from India. Only in that situation it is taxable in two hands, that is, ordinarily resident has to pay tax and also not ordinarily resident has to pay tax on foreign income part 2. Example for this is income from business earned in Pakistan, received in Pakistan, but the business is being controlled from India. When the income received in Pakistan earned in Pakistan but the control and management is done from India, then it falls under category 2, wherein ordinarily and not ordinarily resident has to pay tax on it. I would like to make some adjustment, or I would like to twist this example, that is income from business earned in Pakistan, controlled from India, but received in India. Then in this situation, this foreign income would turn into Indian income. I repeat, income from business earned in Pakistan, managed from India or from other country, but received in India becomes Indian income. Why? Because Indian income is that income where the source belongs to India or the receipt of the income belongs to India. So if the foreign income is received in India, it becomes Indian income, and when it is Indian income, it is taxed in all the three hands. Ordinary, not ordinary, and non-resident has to pay tax on Indian income. But in this situation, as keeping the same example, it becomes foreign income, but as it is controlled and managed from India, ordinary and not ordinary resident has to pay tax on second income, that is foreign income. Foreign income are taxed in the hands of, number 1, ordinarily resident. If income other than business which is controlled from India, then ordinarily resident only has to pay tax on it. Second, not ordinarily resident also has to pay tax if income from business is controlled from India. Just cancel that and word. If it is controlled from India, then even not ordinarily resident has to pay tax on the same. Coming to third classification of income, that is exempted income. Any income which is exempted under the income tax is not to be considered for computing taxable total income of the assessee. The incomes which are exempted, example, agriculture income, it is exempted from tax. Exempted in the sense, on that particular part of income, the assessee need not pay any tax. That is known as exempted income. So if there is any exempted income, then it is not to be taken into consideration while computing total taxable income. Example for this is, Miss Priya earned agriculture income of rupees 1 lakh in the previous year 2019-20. If Miss Priya earns agricultural income in India, then it is exempted. If any agricultural income in foreign country it is earned, then it is taxable. I repeat once again, if any agricultural income earned in India, means the agricultural land belongs to India, then it is exempted from tax. Similarly, if the agricultural income belongs to some other country, let us take example of Pakistan, the agricultural land situated in Pakistan, and if we receive any income from foreign agricultural income, in that case that income is taxable. Only Indian agricultural income is exempted from tax. So when it is exempted income, nobody need to pay tax on it. That is, exempted income are not at all taxable, whether to ordinarily resident, not ordinarily resident, or non-resident. Even if it is given in the sum agricultural income in India, in solution we need to just write 0 in that column. When we are solving it, we need not consider only that income while we are calculating the sums. Fourth is past untaxed foreign income. Past untaxed foreign income is foreign income which was earned during any earlier years, but which could not be taxed in India due to any reason. It is earned where in foreign country, but it was not taxed in India due to some reasons, then it is known as past untaxed foreign income. In case of past untaxed foreign income also, nobody needs to pay the tax. Means for past untaxed foreign income is also not at all considered while computing the total taxable income. The example for this is Mr. Prajwal in non-resident earned rupees 5 lakh during previous year 2015-16 and kept it outside India but remitted this amount to India during the previous year 2019-20. Remitting is just transferring. Here we are not receiving any income. It was just remitted. And basically it is past untaxed foreign income. When it is past untaxed foreign income belongs to any of the preceding previous years and which is brought into India in the previous year is not at all considered while computing the total taxable income of assessee. Therefore, the past untaxed income are not taxed in the hands of, means this income is not at all taxed either to ordinarily resident or non-ordinarily resident or non-resident. That means when we are calculating total income based on residential status, we just need to consider first 2 points or first 2 income. That is, Indian income is taxable in all the 3 hands, means ordinarily, not ordinarily and non-resident has to pay tax on it. Foreign income is taxed in the hands of only one person, that is ordinarily resident has to pay tax if it is salary, house property, capital gain, other sources, etc. If it is business income and controlled and managed from India, then ordinarily and not ordinarily resident has to pay tax on that foreign income. Otherwise, exempted income and past untaxed foreign income, that income is not at all considered while computing the total taxable income of the assessee. I hope you have understood what is taught in today's class. Next class, most probably we are going to see the format of how incidence of tax and residential status appears.